Alright guys, and welcome back to the Little Lawn Game Channel. Today we have race 5, I think it is, in Miami. Last race ended very well. Double podium. You know, we didn't quite have the pace to keep it with Claire and maybe challenge for the victory, but we showed we had a little bit of quality about us, which is all you can really ask for. We're going to head straight into qualifying today. We're not going to do any of the kerfuffle in and around the game. We're just going to go straight in. And hopefully we can have as good of a Grand Prix, if not maybe a little bit better. There are no updates on the car. We haven't created anything to push us on to the next level, but what we will do is we are going to do one run in Q1 and that should be enough. We should have a quick enough car. We've manufactured a few extra parts, so if we have issues then we will be sorted. But ultimately we've just got to do what we can, see what can happen. Miami's a track, obviously first year on the calendar. We've never been here before, and we'll see how Lewis and George both adapt to the track. I did actually take control of practice one, so we have got ourselves a half decent setup confidence, so fingers crossed they can move from there. Really, a lot of cars haven't gone out. A lot of cars are already doing the one run, it seems, so we will slow it down a little bit because we just want to wait for this cluster to start really heading out. Oh, there we go. Everyone else has done a run now. Everyone else done a run. So I'm thinking, we need to slow down. So it's a 129 lap. As soon as we start seeing a few cars go out, we'll send the lads out. There we go. That's what we want to see. Just wait for a few to, and away we go. Magnussen's left it really late. The Haas boys left it so late to come around there. We will watch this on board with Lewis. We'll see Lewis's lap. Should be a nice, comfortable route through, hopefully. But we'll see. I'm going to speed it up because no one wants to watch this at 1 time speed today, let's be honest. Just got to make sure we get around, and all, to be fair, 50 up, we should do. But yeah, I'm hoping to repeat a very similar result to Imola, to be honest. Here we go. So we go full power. We've actually got ourselves a decent gap, and so has George. He's got himself a decent gap as well. Don't know where sectors end and begin on this, I won't lie. But we'll wait for sector 1 to come up here for Lewis. So 33.8. And George should be too far behind. A 33.8. So George is actually up. George is up on Lewis at the moment. It's a 20.9 for sector 2 for Lewis. And George, it's a 29. I think he's up again, isn't he? Oh no, he's slow, a bit slower on that, but he's got a much bigger gap in sector 1 than Lewis has in sector 2. So I think he might actually go a little quicker than him here in Q1. Send a little bit of message out. I mean, he did get second place last time round. As Lewis, here we go, he's going to cross this line. Where's he going to come out? That's the question now for Lewis. He goes 5th fastest, and I think George will probably nick that off him unless he's bottled the sector 3. And George Russell goes 5th fastest, knocking Hamilton down to 6th. He was actually almost a whole 10th up on Lewis in the end there. So, hey, 5th and 6th, that's where we are. And as you can see from the gaps, we're not that far off the top boys. We're not 100 miles away from them. We are gaining and we're getting closer. We just need to keep pushing that. But Q2 up next, and we'll see what we can do. Again, we'll probably do the one run because we've got so much of a gap to P7, but I don't really see us needing to ever do more than one run in these first qualifiers. Obviously, you can bottle it, and rain can make a difference, but I can't see rain making too much of a difference today. 20. Hot down there. Ocon's out. Oh, he's out. He's crashed out. So it comes around, he completely locked. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'm surprised that's not red flag. That is, he's absolutely bottled that. But apparently we're still going round. This is the risk with going one run, because if it did end up being stopped early, then we would be in trouble. Just got to slow us down a little bit just so we could time us leaving. I'm wondering whether I put... No, we're not going to put... We're just going to go with new softs. We're not going to be one of those. So everyone's in. As soon as we see cars leaving. There we go. Right. George. Lewis. And this time we will ride on board with George. Wow, they came out simultaneously there. They came out simultaneously. We do need him to maybe back up a little bit here, Lewis, because if we go on board with Lewis, he is right behind George, so he's not actually going to be able to go any quicker. So just back up a little bit. Can I tell him to do that, maybe? No, I can't. I've got an issue with the powertrain. What's wrong with the powertrain? Our gearbox is at 34%. We need it. We haven't changed our engine or gearbox once this season, have we? We've got to start thinking about it. Which case, though, is Lewis going to get the tow here from George? Is that what? Or is he just going to be stuck behind him? Well, they start their laps. We will go on board with George, like we said we would, and we'll start looking at the sector times and see who's quicker. Because George's main, what's name, is sector 1. That's where he was up on Lewis quite heavily. 33.8. That's not bad at all. And he's just a little slower, is Lewis. Just a little. A 29, a 20.9 and 20.9. So it's just a bit quicker there. There is currently 9 thousandths of a second separating their two times. And here he comes. Is it raining? No, it's not raining. Don't know why it's getting so blurry there, though. Well, I feel that's quite a slow corner there from George. He'll cross the line. He'll go 4th fastest. And Lewis will go 6th fastest. Either way, they're safely through, which is the important thing. I'm presuming Sainz will go quicker than Russell in the end. Yeah, there you go. Sainz goes 3rd fastest. And Leclerc looks like the man to beat heading in to Q3. Now we're going to go and do a run on old softs. That is something we are going to do. Right now, it just does not feel like Lewis is quite at the same level with this track as George is. George is in good form. We know George is in good form. Ah.
Give us a radio check on the backup radio. Yeah, all good.
There we go. Send them both out. Oh, I've done it again to Lewis. I've let him down there. When we do our final run, I'll make sure there is a gap between them. I've done that twice now. So it's a slip of the imagination, really. You're just not giving him a chance to have space to work. But what we will do, we're not actually going to watch this lap. This lap isn't that important. It's just our banker lap, really, where we're going to put a time down and hopefully it'll be a quick time. Right, where are we going to put ourselves? So we're actually slower than Lando Norris. And by some way. That's actually a little worrying. We're slower than Lando Norris and by quite some way. Reconfigure. Put on the new softs for sure. So we're ready and raring to go now. Like, why so many people are so far off the pace, I will never know. Okay, so if I send out George, now send out Lewis. What we'll do is we'll watch George's lap, as he has a nice little gap between him and I think it's a Ferrari in front of him. And Lewis, who's at the back of the pack, has a nice little gap to him. So we'll just wait for him to come round now. So here is George. What can you do in Sector 1, my friend? Both drivers need bigger laps. Much bigger laps. .33.8 for George in Sector 1. Lewis has gone faster. By a 1,000th of a second, Lewis has gone faster. Is now the time where Lewis pulls it out the bag. Is now the time. Zhou Guanyu is currently 4th. I pray he doesn't say it. Perez has gone up to 3rd. It's a 20.938. 20.932. So Lewis is up on George heading into Sector 3. He's up. Should we come through there? George Russell's going to come around. Where can he put his Mercedes? He goes 5th fastest. And Hamilton is just about to come across that line now. Slower. He's struggling in Sector 3 at the moment. It's Sector 3 where Lewis is losing time to George. Because he was up. He was up. And he lost it all in Sector 3. Well. We've got to come up with a different plan for these guys now. Going to head into the strategy booth, and we have to come up with a strategy for these guys now. We could just do the simple medium to hards, but could we not theoretically do soft to hards with Lewis maybe? Is that not an option? If we were to say edit this, change the tyre compound to soft and elongate? No. No. It's a no. is if I was to do that. I could theoretically do that. But then his tyres are just going to... No, his tyres are going to come off, be off the edge, aren't they? The last thing we need is to have his tyres off the edge. So if we do that... There's Lewis. Sorted. George, my friend, what are we going to do with you? The one stop is obviously a possibility. I mean, I'm telling you right now, if we're doing this, I'm changing the two stop straight off the bat, and it'll be a case of soft, then it'll go to hards. And then, oh, I don't think we have another soft pair, do we actually? But that would be what we're looking at. That sort of thing. Where you've got soft, and a hard stint where we can just go ham a little bit. Yeah, that's what we'll do. There we go. Right, so George is doing a two stop. Lewis is doing a one stop. Let's go. Yeah, we don't need this again, man. Come on. Good start, boys. Let's get that Red Bull. Let's get Checo. Lights out. We want to get on board with Lewis here. We're just going to have a quick look. So Lewis has kept 6th and Russell has kept 5th. That's what we've done so far. If we just have a quick look behind, and there is Fernando Alonso. And we will have to do what we can. We've got that. Russell has to stay with them Red Bulls on these fresher tyres. He has to stay. These first few laps are crucial for his race, and he has to compete with the likes of Sergio Perez here today. He has to compete with him. And at the moment, on pace, he looks like he's sticking with him. Lewis doesn't look like he's sticking with this gaggle. Lewis is dropping back. But George is definitely sticking. He's definitely sticking with Checo at the moment. We've just now got to be mindful. So we're going to turn it up a little bit, the speed. And we'll probably see Lewis drop out of DRS range. Yeah, he is almost there. He's got back a little bit. So in terms of pitting, we've got a way to go yet with George. We do have a way to go yet. There we go. He's out of DRS range. So we're actually going to put him on to deploy. Try and get Fernando Alonso out of DRS range of Lewis now. That's our thing. It's not to get back in. It's to get Alonso out, essentially, for us right now. That's what we've got to do. And look, George is now dropping back from the Red Bulls. So we've done that. Almost. There we go. He's out. Now, you're going to go for a bit of time to have a bit of deploy. Try and get yourself back up because we need to compete with the likes of Checo here today. Checo's gone defensive. Checo's gone defensive. Will George have a look? No, not quite. George set the fastest lap of the race. And right now, he needs to be looking to get past Checo. It's not happening. It's not happening for the lad. Here we go. He's got a run here. Can he? Sector 1, there's a yellow flag. Competitor ran wide, that's fine. Deploy. Deploy. Oh, come on. Like Lewis, I think is going to have a very boring race by the looks of things. He's 2.2 seconds up the road on Fernando Alonso. And it doesn't really look like he's going to actually battle with George at any point. And George, just I don't think he's got what it takes to... I don't think he's got what it takes to really compete with Checo in terms of pace. Checo has lost DRS to Carlos Sainz now. So that makes us a threat here because Checo's lost DRS. So every time... Oh, he's regained it. He has regained it now. But basically until it's time for him to pit, we're a little stuck. A little stuck behind Checo here. Because he's got DRS. We really need to start making some moves. Get right back on the back of them and start making looks to get past. Fastest lap for Lewis. Jeez, Lewis is maybe not as far behind as we thought. He is with this gaggle. He is with them. Deploy. Come on, George. Use your ERS. Let's get Checo, who's really caught up to Carlos Sainz now. Come on. I'll tell you something. He's got really good traction there, but again, once they both hit top speed, with nothing on him. On our soft tyres, we just can't make a move at the moment. We are right up behind all these cars. Are they all on hard tyres? Well, no, Sainz and Perez are on hards, and Max and Charles are on mediums. Come back down to neutral. He just doesn't have the pace, does he, to get past Checo, who has now dropped back past. So again, we're here. We're in this situation. Lewis has now dropped over a second back from Russell. George, he's looking. Checo's just parked the car in the right spot again. Like them cars in front are going now, and we are nowhere near them because Checo's dropping back. We're dropping back. I'm just trying to get Checo because I feel like I think it's a massive part of this race. And so he's got him. Russell's got him. We should get a highlight, I think. Here it is. It's under braking. It's a brilliant move. And George is up into 4th place. Now the key part to this for us now is he's got to push. He's got to push hard. We've given him the fuel. Balanced. Put him back to pass. He didn't actually pull that far away from Checo. So he's still under that pressure barrier anyway. He's not really making moves on the cars in front, or is he? No, not really. And Checo is right with him every step of the way. Lewis is actually right behind Checo now. Is Lewis maybe? Is he in a position where maybe he could get Checo if... No, Checo's closer to George than Lewis is to Checo. And there you go. I think we might see the move here from Sergio. Around the outside. Down the inside now. And I think, yep, George has backed out of it. George has backed out of it. And Sergio Perez is back up to 4th. It was a brilliant move. Really was. Top-notch move. And now, Russell's got it back. I feel like this is the battle now. They're going to be, you know. And there you go. Perez is back ahead of him. Mosconi, we've entered our pit window. Go on standard now with George. We're not going to pit yet. We're going to stick to the plan. We're going to put Lewis on deploy now with his ERS. Because I feel like Lewis has been a little bit neglected this race so far. And really, he's been doing a stellar job because he's just pulled away from Fernando Alonso without even worrying about him. Yeah, so George is on his softs. We're on our mediums. There's a little three. There's no way that... I don't think anyone's going to make a move here. No, they're not. But we'll see as this race progresses. Obviously, Lewis has got one less stop than George. So I actually get the feeling George is going to... I feel like he's going to struggle a little bit. Because this gap we're building to Alonso is key for likes of George, who's doing that extra pit stop. Lewis here is right on him. I think they're topping out because George also has... George's got defensive. And yeah, that is just sticking this little trail again. I feel like this is where we're at for the time being. This is little group of three. And Alonso's in a world of his own as well. Because he's got a nice gap to Gasly, but he's just falling back from the two Mercs. We're about to enter our optimal pit window with George. Hamilton's passed. When did that happen? Optimal pit. So it's hard tyres we need to put him on. Box. Well done, George. That's what I told you to do. So here we have it. It is Lewis putting the pressure now on Sergio Perez, and George is dropping back. Dropping back quite dramatically as well, to be honest with you. I think he is now starting to catch up. And Lewis, will he get a proper drive at Perez? Here we go, DRS. Lewis now. Checo's parked his car in the middle of the track again. He switched to the inside, but I don't think he's going to go for the move. No, he's not. And George, we'll just take him off that because I don't want him to absolutely burn the tyres to the point where he just drops off these guys. We don't want that. But Lewis has to do something. He can't start falling behind Checo. It won't work. We can actually go a bit more aggressive in terms of that. Taysom is catching up again. As we come round here, we'll now put it on as George enters the pits. We've got to watch George because now the question with George is where does he come out? That's what we've got to look at with George. Where's he coming out? Lewis is passed. Lewis has passed Checo. Oh, we didn't see it, but we will now. Oh, it's just DRS. Around the outside. Lovely move from Lewis. Can he do what George couldn't and stay ahead of Checo? So George is going to come out in 13th. Right now, we aren't going to keep Checo behind, I don't think. Not. He is gaining. He's going to go for the down the inside move, and it's a lovely move from Checo, but Lewis is still there, you know. Lewis is fending him off, and he keeps his position. And now, George, it's time to go ham on these hard tyres. Just use them, obliterate them, destroy them. Let's go. Let's do what we've got to do. Let's catch up to them cars in front. Yeah, Perez probably get him here. Yeah. Russell's taken his first position. It's a nice move. I love side-by-side racing. Absolutely love it. Next up, for this stint for George is massive because he's got to go for it. He's just got to go absolutely ham. When it starts, he's gone past Magnussen. We're not going to watch every overtake he does because he's going to be doing a fair few. George got the fastest lap of the race. Hamilton's got Perez against it again into DRS. Yeah. It's nice enough. So he is ahead. George Russell has the fastest lap of the race. And we need him to keep going in this because he's took Bottas now. He's got Norris up next and he just needs to keep going. When's your pit window? So what are you, isn't it? It's a bit. Lewis is a a while away, yeah. I say we watch a bit of George. Why not? He's about to gain a position here, is he? Against Lando? Yep. I think. He's past Lando. Next up is Guan Yu Zhao. I mean, he needs to hurry up. Really, he's got to gain about 8 seconds over the next few laps. Really, because Alonso, we need to get ahead of Alonso. That's the big thing for us, is being ahead of Alonso. And he's going to get Zhao here. He's going to get Zhao down the inside. But Zhao will have the inside line going around here. Will he? No, he's passed. Russell is definitely passed. The next up is Pierre Gasly. And then it's just go ham until you get Alonso, really. Perez and Hamilton will keep battling away. Here's Pierre Gasly now. Will he get him? He's going to look to the outside. And George Russell is making quick work of quite a few drivers here. He's making quick work of them.
This is good stuff.
This is what we needed him to do. We needed him to just get through the traffic nice and quickly. Get down to the point where it's just him and Alonso. And just go for it. And that's what he's doing. If he can pull away from Gasly now. And this little trail of cars. And start bringing this 6 seconds down. Absolutely fantastic. Let's have a quick look at Hamilton as he's looking at the back of that Red Bull again. Hamilton's got Perez again. And it's down the main straight again. Thought they tangled then. They didn't. But he's through. That's the important thing. We're just waiting for his pit. Okay, so we're going to call him in. Pit options. Onto hard tyres. Let's go, Lewis. He stayed out a lap. if we're going on to this now, Russell is 1.4 seconds off Verstappen, but he does obviously have an extra pit stop to go. So that is what we're looking at now. So if we slow it down, we're going to have a quick look at the situation here. So Lewis is 5 seconds behind George. There's a few cars who are obviously still yet to pit, and Alonso's, well, he's a bit further off, and he's about 21 seconds behind George. George just needs to keep opening this gap. Lewis, is he possibly going to get an undercut here on Checo? Checo's was on the hard tyres, I suppose, so he'll be going longer either way. But surely he'll get the undercut. Surely. George Russell, we need to get a view on this because he is flying to the point where he's keeping up with Max Verstappen here, you know. I have told him to just go absolutely ham. And that's what he's doing. And he's pulling away from Lewis. Because Lewis has to watch his tyres. And this stint in particular with George, we do not have to watch tyres. He can just go, and that's exactly what he's doing. And he's closing down Verstappen slowly. Inside DRS at the moment. If he does get DRS, he's just going to start pulling away from him. But Max, he won't want a battle with George at the moment because George's got another pit stop. George isn't his race, if you get what I mean. George's race is with Lewis, and if he could have a good stint now on these tyres, which he is having, then that could really bring that race all together, to be honest. It could really bring them all together, and George is really starting to close up on Max now. So he's got that DRS, which is massive. That's going to offer him even more time to pull away from Lewis. That gap is 7.2 seconds. And Max right now can get to a point where he's holding George up. So George will be desperate to get past him and get past him very, very soon. He's actually having a look now down the inside. He's going to get him. George Russell is past Max Verstappen and into fourth place. He is absolutely flying on these hard tyres. Jeez. Absolutely on fire is George Russell. And Carlos Sainz is in the pits. Bottas is now going in the pits. And there we go. We're now also going to see a roundabout where we are to the likes of Alonso. That's who we were racing. Ideally, when we pit again, we'll be ahead of him. But without DRS now, there is a little worry that Verstappen will just keep fighting. We don't want to be fighting people. We just do not want to be fighting people. So Sergio Perez is who we're waiting for, right? So half a second. Just say that's 2 seconds for the sake of it. 8 seconds. 25 seconds around about is the gap to Fernando Alonso. And we're actually pulling away from Carlos Sainz. Lewis is bringing... No, because his gap's now to Sainz, not to us. I think I can... There you go. That gives us a bit more of an idea. That'll give us more of an idea of where we are. All in all, it's not terrible. Obviously, our tyres are a lot more worn than anybody else's. Our sectors aren't what they can be. But yeah, our interval. There we go. It's getting a bit flaky. We're trying to work out around about where we are. Verstappen, I'm guessing, is right with us. He is indeed. And Carlos Sainz is a couple of seconds back. Lewis. There's Checo. Checo's come out ahead of him. That'll annoy Lewis. That will annoy Lewis. He was hoping he'd maybe get away with it. George has another pit stop. And Max is just trying anything and everything. We're about to reach some traffic, which isn't what we want, really, with George. We are now going to speed it up. Now that we've got through that section, we'll speed this up a little bit. We're actually gaining on Leclerc, and we're dragging Max with us. We are dragging Max with us. Max has actually just got past us. We don't need to be battling, George. We don't need to be battling, my friend. In fact, he is now. Wow. I suppose we need to go have a look at this. Max Verstappen is now leading the race, and it is down to us. And Max Verstappen and George Russell is right with him. Every step of the way, he's right with him. Lewis Hamilton is right with Checo. And Alonso's so far back now. Russell will come out and slot straight into 6th place and just be able to go absolutely barbaric. He'll be on soft tyres. He'll have every chance of catching. Max has broke DRS to Charles. But we are up to 2nd. And now other cars are starting to get their tyres into a good window for them now. So yeah. We're dropping back. We could be winning Max this race here. We could be winning Max this race. Because Leclerc is now behind us and we're holding him up. That's what's happening. We're holding Leclerc up and allowing Max to get away. The car stopped on the track. Ocon crashed. I'm guessing he locks up and into the wall. Yep, locks up. He's been driving like an absolute maniac with these tyres. Hamilton has dropped off from Checo now. But you'd expect him to. Russell. I'm just trying to work out. There we go. Charles is passed. Charles is passed. He's only got to do one more lap. It's fine. Yeah. We'll pit you then. For some soft tyres till the end of the race. Sainz and Perez are in the pit. Sainz and Perez are pitting again. And Lewis is up to 4th. So Russell, when he pits, which will be as he comes round now. Where does he come out? Is he going to be undercut by Sainz here? No, he's not. He's not. He's actually come out 3 seconds behind Lewis. And right now we sit in 3rd and 4th. We sit in 3rd and 4th. There's 13 laps remaining, but Carlos Sainz will surely be eaten into that. George is hunting down Lewis. He is hunting him down quickly as well. Which means so is Sainz and so is Perez. There is a podium here if we want it. But it's a podium for Russell. I can't see Lewis having any chance of a podium here. George right with him now. Right. So this way. Don't fight, teammate. There we go. Let's go. And now,
There's the fastest.
George Russell's done the fast lap of the race as he goes into the podium places here. The two-stop strategy was definitely the strategy to go on, for sure. And Lewis is on worn hards against, I'm guessing, a Carlos Sainz on softs. That's this up here, isn't it? Mediums for Sainz and Perez. That gap is 2.7 seconds. It's coming down a bit too quickly for my liking here. I can't see Lewis fending him off. Not on fresh mediums. He's got fresh rubber. So we're going to try... No, we're not going to try and hold him back. And Lewis will have to do a miracle job. That's what Lewis is going to have to do here.
So we have low on battery at the moment.
Oh, damn it. And that means Carlos Sainz will probably get us here. He's not. And what we are doing is 110% securing that podium for George. Leclerc, the tyres have come back to him. He is caught back up to Verstappen and got past. Sector 2. It's a safety car. It's a safety car. Are we going to finish behind the safety car? Like, does anyone remember what lap we're on? 52. Because if we finish behind safety car, we've got third and fourth. If we don't, it could be really bad for us. Like, I'm not pitting George. George isn't being pitted. But Lewis, do I pit him for some soft tyres? I feel like I've got nothing to lose. I feel like he's going to lose these places anyway. So, we've got a fresh pair of softs for him. Let's do it, and then he can just go ham at the end, can't he? Put everything on to conserve. Put everything on to harvest. Yeah, I think this is it. The right decision is being made here. Leclerc crashed. Leclerc. So he's leading. Max is coming by. Oh, he locks up. So Leclerc, from the lead of the Grand Prix, put under pressure by Max, crashes out. And we currently sit second and third, but obviously Lewis is coming into the pits. Yeah.
We've had a big crash here.
Put that on to conserve. Save. So is this just coming around now, is it? Yeah. So Lewis now goes in. And he, yeah, 5th place. So if we finish behind safety car, it's 2nd and 5th. Car neutral. His is still going. Lewis hasn't actually caught up to the safety car yet. Yeah, okay, so we'll whack that on there. put that on conserve. We haven't done that, and we're just going to be using tyres that we just don't want to be using. I don't know whether we're just going to finish behind the safety car here.
So safety car is going to be in this lap.
So safety car's in this lap. There's 2 laps left. So in terms of him, we can actually go attack. Put in overtake mode. Overtake mode. I mean, he can obviously just go full on attack mode. Push. Push. Right then.
Use those tyres. Ahead.
We've got 2 laps. What can we do? We're on old softs. Are we going to be... Are Science and Perez going to prove to be a threat in all of this? It's late drama. Late drama. But it's all about to reveal itself. We are with Hamilton. We're going to be sat with Hamilton. Normal racing conditions have resumed. Let's go. So if we go to where George is, off the restart, he has fended off Carlos Sainz. Lewis Hamilton, he can see Checo. It's just an absolute gaggle of cars all around it. Oh, Lewis. Like, why is he battling with me? He's not... Come on. Just put it on deploy. Put him on deploy. Let's go. Let's drain it. Let's absolutely bloody drain everything we've got. I think Max is going to win though. Yeah, we ain't got the pace, have we? And we've got all these cars. This is the issue we've got. Is we've got these cars in front of us. And it's like... Just get out the fucking way, and excuse my French on that, but that is literally what it's like at the moment. Just get out the way. You've ruined what could have been a really good end to the race. There we go. He's out the way. That Williams is now out the way, but there's... I swear there's more cars ahead of us that need to get out the way. So we're going to go on to neutral, because no point is... drain it. One more lap. Everyone's out the way. But, yeah. We're too far back. We're 2.6 seconds back. In terms of George, though, he's actually gaining. George is gaining on Max here. Will he have one chance, maybe? Come on, George. One chance at him. What is his tyres looking like? They're 34% hards. George Russell has got a few corners here to try and go for the race victory. Come on, George. This safety car. Could it be the best safety car in the world? He is right up there now with Max. Max's tyres are giving up the ghost. George Russell's tyres haven't. He's on softs. He's on hards. There's one big straight coming up now. Give it everything, George. Give it absolutely bloody everything. Go on. We've lost out on ERS. Max has got defensive. I don't think we're getting it off DRS to get him. We aren't. Unless we brake later. Unless we brake later. He's trying it. Round the outside. Go on, George. Go on. Oh, no. No. Max is going to win. George will be second. Oh, we were so close. We were so close. Lewis gets fifth in the end. But George Russell, this close. This close. Oh, we were so close to victory there. We were so close to victory. Oh, that's really annoying. That is really annoying. At least we'll get the podium animation. It's another podium. It's a second place for George Russell. This close. I thought he was going to have him. Yeah, you're a lucky boy. You're a lucky boy, Max. You're a very lucky boy. If only George might be a little bit more aggressive in the overtake, he may well have had him. He may well have had him if he was a little more aggressive. And here's the champagne. I am genuinely gutted. I shouldn't be. It's a second place in a car that should never be getting second place. But what if? What if? There we go. Fastest lap of the race as well, so he gets 19 points instead of 18. That's big news right there. Lewis picking up 5th. Would he have held off Sainz and Perez? Oh, I'm not so sure. I don't know. I don't know. It depends if there was cars between them, which I don't think there was with Sainz. So I think Sainz was a breeze past him. I think Checo probably would have done the same. So I think we made the right call pitting him. But yeah, it is what it is. In the Drivers' Championship, Leclerc still leads the way, 4 points ahead of Max Verstappen. George Russell has leapfrogged Lewis Hamilton now in the standings, put himself on 58 points. And in the Constructors' Championship, we are comfortably in 3rd, battling it away now. We're right in with the fight for Red Bull, should we say, ahead of Alfa Romeo. Nothing to worry about there. But yeah, onwards and upwards, I suppose. And Hamilton's got a development point. George's got a big experience gain. And we get a lot of money in the bank as well for that weekend. We'll continue to push, keep going as hard as we can, as always. Spain up next. Side pods, as you can see, just been designed. It's Spain up next. I don't really see it being a track for us, but who knows. But if you have enjoyed that and it's another podium for us, then please do drop the video a like. Give the channel a subscribe. And I'll catch you guys later.